GT12 is brought to you by AMain Hobbies. Drivers ready, turn, marshals heads up. We are going on the tone. Dave Constant, your TQ, jumping out of that early lead. Good, clean start for these guys. Constant, that all-white car, leading them around.
Sorry about that.
James Nelson in the second spot. David Bumel in the third. Clint Riley up into third now. Rick Yoder in fourth. Dave Constant already opened it up to a 2-second advantage and coming through some lap traffic already. That all-white car on the left side of the track is your leader down the front straightaway. Dave Constant comes by with a 13.9. Then you've got Nell and Clint Riley and Rick Yoder. Three-way battle for that second spot. Ed Smith, you got second, third, and fourth. Thank you, sir. And Mark, you got a pack of cars coming up on you soon. Oh, Clint Riley takes a weird twist coming off that 180. That's going to let Rick Yoder by. 130 down and 630 still left to go. Your leader on the right side of the track coming around the one-up carousel. Dave Constant, 14.1 last time by. You got Rick Yoder all over the back wing of Nell as they come down the front straightaway. Nelson with that bright orange car with a 13.9. Yoder with a 13.8. Yoder looks on the inside, comes through the switchbacks. Yoder up into the second spot now. James Nelson dropping back to third. Down the front straight they come. The white and orange car of Rick Yoder hanging on to that second spot. Nelson looking for a place to get by. They are bumper to bumper coming around the top side of the track into the 180s. Yoder and Nelson running together around that one-up carousel.
Quarter 2 and 3.
Thank you guys. Good job, guys, for sliding out of the way on these leaders. Here comes your leader across the line. Dave Constant with a 14.1. Yoder with a 14 flat. Nell with a 14 flat as well. Nelson looking for the inside move. Almost that same move that Yoder put on him. Not able to stick it. Rick Yoder hanging on into that second spot. They are starting to inch their way closer to Dave Constant. Even with this battle, oh, Nelson parks it around that carousel. That's going to lose him about 3/10 on Rick Yoder. Then you got DeJuan Moore in the fourth spot with Jamie Hughes right on his back bumper. Clint Riley in the sixth spot. 3 minutes down and 5 minutes still left to go. Leader crosses the stripe again. Constant with a 14.1. Yoder 14 flat. James Nelson 13.8. Trying to reel back into Yoder. They're on the top side of the track. That is your best battle on the track right now. Watch it coming into the back section. That is clear. Here's your battle for second and third. Yoder and Nelson looking for a place to get by. Coming up on some lap traffic on the front straightaway. That's second and third running with you guys. Good job, guys. Yoder still hanging on to that second spot. They are inching their way closer to Dave Constant. That could be a three-way battle here shortly. Here comes your leader back out of the 180 and down the front straightaway. That is Dave Constant with a 14.3. Rick Yoder 14.2. James Nelson 14.3. Three-car freight train coming around the left side of the track right now. That all-white car of Dave Constant is your leader. The white and orange car of Rick Yoder in second. That bright fluorescent orange car of James Nelson in third. Here they come, top three on the front straight right now. 4:30 down and 3:30 still left to go. Yoder inching his way closer and closer to Dave. Three-way battle down the front straightaway. Dave comes by with a 14.3. Yoder 14.1. Nell 14.1. Great fight coming up with these guys. Ed, you got your leaders coming up on you soon. Here comes Nell, looking for a place to get by Yoder as they're coming on the right side of the track now around the one-up carousel. James Nelson, stuffs it into that dot. That's going to give Yoder some breathing room. Gives him a chance to close in on Dave. Constant comes by with a 14.4, Yoder 14.1. Jamie, got your leaders coming up on you. 5:30 down and 2:30 still left to go. Top three still separated by about a second and a half. Dave Constant leading them around. Rick Yoder about a half second back, and then you got about 3/4 of a second back to James Nelson. Here comes your leaders onto the front straight one more time. Dave Constant comes by with a 14.4, Yoder 14.3, Nell 14.3. 6 minutes down, 2 minutes still left to go in this A1 for your GT12 class, brought to you by AMain Hobbies. Dave Constant 14.3, Yoder 14.3, Nell 14.3. Race number 5, US GT A1 coming up next. Race 5, US GT A1 up next. Clint, you got your leaders in behind you. Here comes Dave Constant down the straightaway with a 14.3, Yoder 14.6, Nell 14.2. Top three still separated by about a second and a half, as we're closing in on 1 minute to go. Yoder with a rough last lap. That's going to drop him back. Here comes James Nelson closing that gap. These two have been nose to tail this entire time. Great battle for that second and third spot. Here comes James Nelson getting that draft down the front straightaway, closing in on Rick Yoder, trying to get by. Around the one-up carousel they come. Nelson looks on the inside, hits that pipe just a bit. We got 45 seconds left to go. Nelson makes a little mistake, drops back. Here comes your leader, Dave Constant, pulling away just a bit now. Rick Yoder in second, James Nelson in third, Dewan Moore in fourth. We've got 30 seconds left to go. Everybody's starting to settle in just a bit now. Constant comes by with a 14.5, Yoder with a 14.3, trying to reel them back in. Ten seconds left to go. They're going to come by for a white flag lap. Dave Constant, nobody in front of him right now. Rick Yoder trying to reel him in. That is time, drivers. Everybody finish the lap you're on. Everybody finish the lap you're on. Here comes your winner down the front straightaway, Dave Constant, taking home the win. A2, drivers ready. Turn marshals heads up. We are going to go on the tone. Your TQ, Dave Constant, out in front, that all-white car. Tucked in behind him is James Nelson in that bright orange car. Then you've got Dewan Moore in third, Jamie Hughes in fourth, Rick Yoder in fifth. Good, clean start for these guys. Battle for the lead right now. You've got Dave Constant out in front. He's got James Nelson all over that back wing. Dewan Moore not too far back. He's got Jamie Hughes behind him in the fourth spot. Top five starting to pull away. Dewan Moore and Jamie Hughes going at it side by side around the double apex. Jamie trying to get by Dewan. Good five battle right now. 5 cars up front. Freight training into the 180s. Dave Constant out in front. James Nelson in second. Dewan Moore in third. Jamie Hughes in fourth. Rick Yoder in the fifth spot. Oh, Jamie hitting the dot, able to get it back down, only loses a tenth or so. Here comes Dewan Moore all over the backside of Nell. Down the front straight they come. 3-way breakaway right now. Dave Constant out in front, James Nelson right behind him. DeJuan Moore in behind him. Top three, nose to tail into the 180s. Here they come down the front straightaway. Dave Constant hanging on. He's got a 13.9 last time by. Oh, Nelson turns in a little early around that carousel. That lets DeJuan Moore by. DeJuan Moore now into the second spot. James Nelson dropping back to third. Oh, DeJuan does a 180 at that 180s. Hooks it up, spins out. That gives Nelson the spot back. DeJuan drops back to the fourth spot. Rick Yoder now up into third. Jamie Hughes getting the short end of that stick, drops him all the way back into the sixth spot. We've got 2:30 down and 5:30 still left to go. Leaders coming through the 180s right now. That all-white car out in front. The bright fluorescent orange car is second. That is James Nelson. $2:30 down and 5:30 still left to go. Dave Constant with a 13.8 last time by. Nelson with a 14.3. Starting to slice their way through some lap traffic. Constant with a 14 flat, Nell with a 13.7. Three minutes down, 5 minutes still left to go. Constant with a 14.2, Nell with a 14 flat. Your leader down the front straight, that all-white car of Dave Constant with a 13.9, Nell with a 14.1. Then you got Rick Yoder still hanging on to that third spot. DeJuan Moore in fourth. Top two down the front straight one more time. Dave comes by with a 14.1, Nell 14 flat. Here's your leaders crossing the stripe again. Dave with a 14.5, Nell 13.9. In the short chute, first and second, nose to tail. We've got 4:30 down and 3:30 still left on the clock. Starting to cut through some lap traffic. Dave Constant out in front. He was your TQ in this class, the GT12 class, brought to you by AMain Hobbies. Dave Constant was able to take the win in A1. Nell looking to make this go into A3. He's been on his back wing this whole race. We've still got 3 minutes left to go. Oh, Nell hits that dot, losing a couple tenths there. Trying to inch his way back to Dave Constant. You still got Rick Yoder running in the third spot. DeJuan Moore in fourth. Clint Riley rounding out your top five. Constant comes by with a 14.1. Nell with a 14.3. Yoder with a 14.7, DeJuan 14.1, starting to inch his way back up into that third spot. You got two battles now developing on the track. You got first and second nose to tail, and you got third and fourth running together as well. DeJuan Moore working his way back up to Rick Yoder with 2 minutes left to go. First and second on the front straightaway now. Then you got third and fourth coming through the 180s. Dave Constant with a 14.2 last time by. Nell with a 14.3. Here they come down the front straight one more time. Constant with a 14.2. Nell 14 flats. And then here comes Dewan Moore trying to get by Rick Yoder around the carousel. Dewan couldn't quite get the deal done. Constant opened it up a little bit on Nell. Looks like he made a small little mistake back there. Still got a great battle for that third and fourth spot around the carousel. Rick Yoder, the white and orange car, in the third spot. Right behind him is that yellow and purple car of Dewan Moore with 1 minute left on the clock. Dewan cutting it close, hitting those apexes, closes in tight on Rick Yoder. Through the 180s they come. We've got 50 seconds left to go. Dewan Moore hitting some tight apexes, closing in, inching closer and closer. Tries that high-low move to come down the straightaway. Rick Yoder hanging on to third. Dewan Moore carrying some speed. Oh, he hits the dot. That's going to lose him some valuable time with 30 seconds left to go. Here comes James Nelson closing back in on Dave Constant. Dave gets a little loose coming off that turn. Here comes your battle for the lead with 15 seconds to go. They're going to get by for one final lap. This should be their white flag. Dave Constant out in front, taking the win in A1. James Nelson tucked in behind him in that bright orange car. It's going to come through the 180s. Here they come onto the front straightaway as we close in on time. That is time. Dave Constant taking the win in A2. Dave also taking that overall win in your GT12 class. This is our GT12 A3 main event. Drivers ready. Turn marshals heads up. We're going to go on the tone. Rick Yoder getting a great spot. Getting jumped by Jamie Hughes. Yoder up into the third spot. Here comes your leader down the front straight for the first time by James Nelson with Dewan Moore in second. Rick Yoder in third. Oh, Nell getting stuck up on a pipe. Couldn't get any worse for that. Had a great start out in front. Now you got Dewan Moore out in front. Rick Yoder in second. Clint Riley in third. You got two in the middle here, guys. One right here in front of me. Rick Yoder now taking over the lead. Excuse me, Jamie, nope. Rick Yoder out in front. Clinton Riley in that second spot, about 2 seconds back. Yoder in that white and orange car coming up onto the back section now in the double apex. Then you got Clint Riley about 2 seconds back. Right behind him is Davin Bumel. And Nell working his way back up in the fourth spot. James Nelson trying to work his way back up. Oh, Clint Riley making a little mistake. Nell gets 2 for 1 right there. Gets by James Nelson back up into that second spot. Gets by Davin and Clint in one section. So you got Rick Yoder out in front, James Nelson in that second spot. Davin Bumel in third, Clint Riley in fourth. Dewan Moore trying to work his way back up in the fifth spot. Yoder with a 13.8 that time by. He's opened up to a 3-second advantage right now. Dave Constant taking the win in A1 and A2, sitting this one out, your overall winner in the GT12 class. That white and orange car in the center chute right now. Rick Yoder out in front, 2.5-second advantage on that bright orange car of James Nelson. Nelson trying to reel his way back in. Davin Bumel in third. You've got a great battle for that third and fourth spot right now. Davin, Clint, and Dewan all running together around the carousel. Clint Riley all over the back bumper of Dewan, or excuse me, off of Davin. Through the 180 and down the front straight they come. Clint Riley looking for a place to get by. Has the motor to get through him. Has to check up around that carousel. Three-way battle. You got Davin, Clint, and Dewan all going at it through the 180s. They get side by side. Dewan lets Clint back by after they tangle just a bit. Oh, we got a body tuck on Dewan. Rick Yoder out in front. 3:30 down, 4:30 still left to go. James Nelson reeling him in. Here comes your top two cars in the center chute right now. Yoder out in front, Nell right behind him. They've had some great battles today. Down the front straight they come. Yoder with a 14.5, Nell with a 14.1. Nelson looking for a place to get by. He is all over that back wing of Rick. Through the 180s they come, and down the front straightaway. First and second nose to tail. Yoder leading them around. Nelson in that second spot. Both of them tagging that inside board just a little bit. Through the 180s they come. Mark, you got your leaders coming up on you. Ed, your leaders coming through as well. Top two cars, nose to tail. Oh, Nelson hits that inside pipe just a bit. That's going to drop him back a couple seconds behind Yoder. Then you've got Davin Bumel still hanging on to that third spot. He's got Clint Riley and Jamie Hughes right behind him. So that's a three-way battle for that third spot. Around the carousel they come. Jamie hits that inside pipe. That lets Clint go by. Clint now closing in on Davin. Around the 180s and down the front straight they come. Three-way battle right now. Tim, you've got a battle coming up behind you soon. Davin hanging on to that third spot. Clint Riley, oh, Davin gets hung up with that back marker. Tim did the right thing, slides out of the way, but just gets bottled up just a bit. Clint Riley now up into the third spot. Davin dropping back to fifth as Jamie gets by him. 2:30 left on the master clock. Rick Yoder out in front and pulling away. He's got a 5-second advantage now on James Nelson. Clint Riley about 4 seconds behind him in the third spot. And then you got about a second back to Jamie Hughes in fourth. Race number 23 coming up next. USGT A3 coming up next. This is your GT12 race brought to you by AMain Hobbies. Leader coming out of the carousel and into the double apex now. Rick Yoder out in front. Nelson still about 5 seconds back. Got about 1:45 still left on the master clock. Race 23, USGT's coming up next. Battle for that third spot between Clint Riley and Jamie Hughes. Down the front straightaway. Mark, that's third and fourth behind you. That is your closest battle right now. We'll close in about 1 minute to go. Clint Riley hanging on to that third spot. Jamie Hughes in fourth. Jamie gets a little sideways coming off that last 180. Gives Clint a little bit of breathing room. Here they come into the double apex now. Right, Clint hanging on to third. Jamie in fourth. Down the front straight they come. Clint with a 14.6. Jamie 14.1. Around the carousel they come. Jamie Hughes all over that back wing of Clint Riley in the 180s. 30 seconds left on the master clock. Oh, Jamie tags that inside pipe. That's going to give Clint all the breathing room he needs right now with about 30 seconds to go. Nelson starting to close back in with Rick Yoder. Not sure if it's going to be enough time. We got about 20 seconds to go. They should get by for one more lap after this. Rick Yoder out in front, trying to hang on. Leaders coming through you guys on the left side, down the front straightaway as we're closing in on time. That is time. Drivers, finish the lap you're on. This is a white flag for your leaders. Rick Yoder out in front. James Nelson in that second spot. Really starting to push through the 180s, trying to make that last ditch effort. Here comes Rick Yoder down the front straightaway, taking the win in A3. James Nelson will finish in second. Clint Riley will come home in third. That is a race, guys. All cars are done. Taking the win overall in GT12.